black families, stop with these activists. This is what got old boy 35 years in prison. You got 35 years because y'all playing these games. This kid Nolan, there's no evidence, but they interjecting this race stuff in it. And so what are you gonna do in this situation? People are gonna be less likely to wanna resolve y'all accusing people of being racist.
My nose is out here, my eyes are here, my brain is here, which means some things I could smell before I could see and before I can figure out. This does not smell right.
You have such a history with civil rights cases. Are you suggesting race is an issue here?
We're talking about the state of Mississippi, and we know, based on the history of America, in the Deep South, there have been many racial killings where there were nobody held accountable.
Before we get back to the show, I want to tell you guys about Synergy. If you're tired of energy drinks that spike you up, make you jittery, and then crash you later, Synergy is built differently. Synergy Day gives you clean, steady energy and focus with natural caffeine from green tea. Synergy Night helps you wind down so that you can rest, you can wake up clean, not groggy. It's a simple day and night system made with natural ingredients, no sugar spikes, and no synthetic stimulant overload. Go to synergylife.com and try it for yourself. Better energy, better rest, better rhythm. Nolan is a case that grinds my gears. Let me say this before anybody get mad at me and say I'm insensitive. It is one of the most sad stories that I have heard this year. One of them. As a parent, it is hurtful. It is devastating for your child to lose his or her life. Especially when they go somewhere with friends and they come back without the friends and somehow your kid is floating in water and you will never see or talk to him ever again. I understand the hurt that the parents may feel, but I do not think it helps their child's cause by having Benjamin Crump on the team pushing racism. I'm going to tell you why I think all of this is disingenuous to some degree. It's a money grab, and it's shameful, and they're shaming Nolan Wells' life because none of this needed to be made public. You only do this public for clout. You can go get your son an alternate autopsy. You can let the authorities do an investigation. You can hire a private investigation. You can do all of these different things without it being public because you have no evidence whatsoever that there was impropriety in this investigation. So normally what a person would do is go, I'm going to do these things on the back end and compare it to what the law enforcement say. And when I see an impropriety, when I see a lack of investigatory efforts, I'm then going to make it public. But to make it public with no evidence that anything actually was afoot here, just a hunch, that says all I need to know about some people's motives in this situation. Let's roll the news clip. Roll it.
The family says the possibility that their son accidentally drowned and was somehow separated from his cell phone and keys does not add up.
We just want to know what happened and why our baby didn't come home.
On July 4th, 18-year-old Nolan Wells took a boat trip with a group of friends to Horn Island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. But the college football player never returned home. Police say he chose to stay behind.
It's so hard for me to believe that he would choose to stay on the island. It just wasn't in his character. It wasn't his character.
Wells' mother reported him missing that night. 2 days later, a park ranger found his body in the water on the island's northwest corner. Wells' parents revealed they tracked down his keys and cell phone at the home of a friend and immediately went to his Snapchat.
When we opened it up, there was nothing. There were no saved pictures. There were no snaps from that day.
Authorities said they believe
Time out. Like these are the things that, like, my investigatory mind, if y'all don't like the word investigatory, my investigative mind, these are the things that make me question, and I wish that people would slow down and do a little bit more due diligence before they put this out to the world. When the mother says, and first of all, I understand the parents are saying it's not in his character. That makes total sense. Second of all, black people don't mess with Nolan. I want y'all to understand, because I'm the black person snitch. I'm a whistleblower. when you see a black kid that only hang around white dudes, I haven't seen a single picture with him around a single black person. Black folks shun black people like this. Ain't nobody with him like that in the black community. I just want y'all to know. You get caught Uncle Tom, coon, sellout, you chucking and jiving for the white man. You telling me this boy is only hanging around white people and somehow he a part of, black people shun you. So I don't want to hear no black person trying to come to his rescue now when in the black community, they shun you if you hanging around white people too much. All right, and then mama said, put mama back on there. No, you don't have to put it on there. I can say it. Mama said when we opened his phone, we saw that his Snapchat was deleted. Here's two things that I think is important the questions to ask to get to the bottom of what we're talking about here. Did he have a lock on his phone? Because you say when we open his phone, do you mean you had to put a code in to open his phone or his phone was open? If his phone is open, then it's open for manipulation. If you had to put a code into his phone, or you put a thing in his phone, and maybe these kids couldn't have deleted anything from his phone. Just because you see his Snapchat phone deletion don't mean that it had anything to do with the phone, because you can log into Snapchat on other devices and still be able to engage. I think it's unfair to insinuate people have done something wrong if you don't have clear evidence. Roll it.
Wells' death was an accidental drowning, but the family's attorney, Ben Crump, says there is a video showing Wells in an argument.
You talk about this video that's out there that shows this apparent argument going on where Nolan says, "Where's my freaking phone? What are you freaking doing?" And then his phone turns up missing.
CBS News could not independently confirm that exchange, even with the help of an audio expert. His parents remain suspicious, saying he would never have left his phone and keys behind.
Now, that to me is very suspicious if he's leaving his phone behind. His keys, maybe, because his keys was at a friend's house. Well, you're not going to take your keys to the island with you while you're swimming and going on a boat trip because you don't need your keys. So him leaving his keys behind makes sense, but his phone is a different story. And let me just say this, and I just want to get people to put the thinking cap on. If these kids did something wrong, they wouldn't keep his phone. They would throw his phone in the water. If I'm just saying, I'm not saying that they did or didn't. I'm not saying that they were smart or not smart. But you would think if the kids had done something wrong to him and was trying to cover it up, because they clearly said, we didn't leave with him. Do you really think that they would have his phone in their possession and they would give it to his parents? If you did something and you don't want nobody to know, the easiest thing for you to do is do what Hillary Clinton did and take a hammer and bash your phone up and sprinkle the pieces in the water. That to me makes me feel like that the friends, it's not very clear that they would have something negative to have done if they're providing the mom and dad with the things that you would destroy if you had something to do with his death. Because it would be what we call evidence. Now, Benjamin Crump got on TV and lied and said it was Nolan on the thing. No. You should have said, if he was a real attorney, he would have said, suspected that it was Nolan. He made the declaration it was Nolan on that video. Now, roll the next clip.
Trayston Shepard declined to speak with us on camera because he says he and his friends are getting threats.
Time out. Y'all wrong for that. Y'all wrong. Go back. Y'all wrong for this. Y'all said, not unless this is a picture of a different friend. I swear, I hope to God that the boy in this picture ain't the boy y'all talking about. He refused to go on camera. Don't tell me, brother, you finna be rich. What a young man. Can Zell me some. Because you finna be rich. There is no way, it's gotta be a different buddy. There's no way that this kid told them, I'm afraid for my life, so I don't want to talk to you on camera. And then they put a picture of him on camera to the world with his voice. Roll the clip.
Trayston Shepard declined to speak with us on camera because he says he and his friends are getting threats.
We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. We all cared and loved Nolan, and nobody wanted to see Nolan die. Nobody wanted to see his life be taken so short.
Shepard addressed this viral video that investigators have been studying. Wells's parents worried it showed their son involved in a confrontation, but Shepard said that's him, not Wells.
That's the video I'm referring to. That's me yelling.
Shepard says he took a boat back from Horn Island in the late afternoon, but Wells stayed behind with a girl he had met.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they've ever hung out, was at Horn Island on July 4th.
Investigators believe Wells drowned and say there were no immediate signs of foul play. While the investigation goes on, Tristan Shepard wants the focus on his friend.
I want everybody just to relax and let everybody mourn the loss of Nolan, and let us remember him as in, like, the sweet guy. I think everybody needs to let the investigation continue and let the facts be shown.
Why do white people gotta always be sensical over black people? Not always, but this is why I say this. Why come a kid goes on the news and say people need to let the investigation play it out? Let's focus on his life. Let's focus on and mourn his loss, instead of hiring a controversial civil rights attorney to make everything about race and nothing about Nolan. You know, we don't know nothing about Nolan other than he got killed by some white boys. This is what y'all promoting. At this point, the reason that I don't have any reason to believe there was impropriety, because there's no evidence. At this point, it seemed like Nolan was hanging out with his boys. He got a little hot piece of you know what, and he wanted to stay to the island and do his game. This happens every day in America. Young boy see a chick, she fine, they on vacation, he trying to smash. Can we just be honest? So Nolan was like, man, I'm finna kick it with her, man. Y'all can go back. I'm gonna hang out with her, and we, hey, you see what I'm working with? Let me do my thing, and then I'll meet y'all later. That seems reasonable to this point. Now let's get to Benjamin Milk Dud, ambulance chasing Crump, and listen to the foolishness that he's saying on TV. Roll it.
A lived experience for many black Americans that oftentimes when our children are killed in highly questionable situations, that there is this notion that, oh, it was nothing wrong, no foul play, let's just sweep it under the rug. Well, we refuse to sweep it under the rug. We refuse to just let Nolan Wells' death be in vain. We're going to make sure that we get to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Truth.
Because Nolan deserves it.
I didn't know the word truth had an F on it. Truth. Y'all hired that man. I need to create a consulting company. Black families, stop with these activists. This is what got old boy 35 years in prison. He deserved to go to prison, but he got 35 because y'all made it by race. And if you'd have partnered with his dad, with Austin Metcalf's dad, and y'all would have did a kumbaya, and he would have took the stand and showed some remorse, they probably would have gave him 10, 15 years. You got 35 years because y'all playing these games. This kid, Nolan, there's no evidence, but they interjecting this race stuff in it. And so what are you going to do in this situation? People are going to be less likely to want to resolve y'all accusing people of being racist. Here go Mr. Pinocchio. My nose is out here. Now, your nose way out here, bro. Your nose, you Pinocchio in this thing. Roll the clip.
My nose is out here. My eyes are here. My brain is here, which means some things I could smell before I could see and before I can figure out. This does not smell right.
Time out. You think a Greyhound? I can smell before I can see. We humans, bro. You can see stuff before you can smell it. You can hear it before you smell it. Somebody busting tail. Hey, man, what you doing? You heard it, you see him, but then you smell it. I'm trying to be philosophical and I see it before I smell it, and it don't smell right. To be honest, you ain't seeing or smelling nothing yet. Let little skinny, let Bobblehead finish what he's saying. Roll it.
So some people are saying, Reverend, are y'all bringing in race?
Yes.
Well, we're not bringing in race, but we're not discounting race either, because we don't know what it is. So to tell us don't rush to judgment saying it was racist is fine. But then I'm telling you, don't rush to judgment saying it was not racism.
You know how stupid you got to be to make that claim? You are a civil rights attorney. You guys are civil rights activists. You sorry mother suckers don't, not one time are you going to go and defend a black kid who get killed by a black person. There's black people drowning and dying and getting raped and killed on suspicious circumstances, and y'all don't show up with a t-shirt, a fundraiser. You got to get killed by a black man, a white person, for somebody to pay for your funeral. If Nolan was out there with a bunch of from HBCU, he ain't getting the funeral. And you celebrities ain't paying for nothing. His parents gonna be doing fundraisers, doing car washes. You gotta be suspected to be killed by white people for black people to care about their own people. I'm gonna pay for his funeral. What's the last young brother that drowned? You ain't pay for his funeral? What's the girl that was hanging out with her black friends and got killed on some suspicious circumstances? Y'all not even paying for their funeral. You gotta be suspected of a white man killing you for black people to care. All right, TMZ is asking Mr. Corrupt Crump what he had to say. Roll the clip.
You have such a history with civil rights cases. Are you suggesting race is an issue here?
We're talking about the state of Mississippi, and we know, based on the history of America, in the Deep South, have been
60 years ago. Talking about 60 years ago. What? I just can't say no more. I think I'm done with this. Do we have something else we want to do? Because I didn't get to the next story. I'm so sick of black people being victims all the time. Oh, my God. The history of this country has been great to black people. You talking about pockets of time where it wasn't optimal for nobody. Asian people were slaves in this country. Modern slaves. Building railroad, construction, mining. Recently. Jews went through the Holocaust recently. And y'all Negroes still out here whining.